and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you. We're going to pick with you. Hope you're feeling grand and hello there, everybody. I have a new memory card in the camera today, so let's see if this one doesn't. Well, my old memory card finally died, so I knew it was dying. The amount of hold-ups it was doing. So I've got a brand new memory card in the camera today. So hopefully, from this point on, touch wood, we shouldn't have any camera issues, but it'd be interesting. I'm sure we will, but hopefully it won't be as many as it was. Anyway, we're talking about NQ Wednesday, everybody. Let's get to question one, shall we? So question one has a few questiones in it. So, question one, part one is, do you play any other instrument proficiently? No, I don't. I can play mandolin, I can play piano, I can play banjo, but I can't play either. I can't play any of them proficiently. Even bass. I can play bass well enough to know what I want. But I only play bass when I'm recording songs. Apart from occasionally, I'm just like, oh, I fancy playing bass, and I'll just plink around on it. But I'm not a proficient instrument player in anything other than the guitar. The guitar is the only thing that I want to really be proficient in as well, to be perfectly honest with you, because it's just my main love. You know what I mean? It's just the thing that's here. You know, when I pick up another instrument like a banjo or a bass or this and other, I don't feel the love for it as much as I do the guitar. The only other instrument that I would love to be able to play is the violin. I would love to be able to play violin really well. It's just because that's my idea of what I want from the guitar in a way as well. Is I want. When I solo, I want it to sound like a violin. I want that flow that violinists have, where it just flows and bending into notes. Well, they don't bend, but they slide into notes and stuff like that. And there's such an awesomeness to the violin. I've always loved it. Not as much as the guitar. Still, it's my love for it still isn't as much as the guitar. But that is definitely one instrument I would really love to play. And ta-da! This is my dad's, so there is a problem with this one though. It doesn't have a post inside to make it sound better. It sounds a bit honky. I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but I can't play it. But it needs sorting out. This one does. But anyway, that is an instrument I would love to be able to play. Again, I'm never going to be proficient on it, but I would like to be able to play it to a point where it kind of you get that flow with it. So when this one's all, but it plays now, but it's not great. It's the bridge is wrong. There's all sorts of issues with it. It needs to be sent off really to get looked at. But the violin is definitely something I would like to be able to play, better than all of the other instruments I know, but not as good as guitar. If that makes any sense whatsoever. But no, I can play quite a few instruments, just not very proficiently. Guitar is my main love and thingy, and again, one day hopefully Mr. Violin will get in there as well. I just love the sound of a violin when it's played well. It's just it just has always appealed to me. I just adore it so much. It's gorgeous, and that's what I want. That's always what I say I want from the electric guitar as well, that violin-y kind of sound, especially on the neck pickup. When you go to a neck pickup on a Strat with a DS2 on, and the notes just sing, it's just gives me the same kind of feeling. So yeah, I hope that's your question. Next part is, are there any musical genres we'd be surprised you're into? I wouldn't think so. No, I'm pretty transparent in that. There's a lot I don't like, and there's a lot that I do like, but it's just kind of like I say, for me, music, for me to enjoy music and for me to love a genre or whatever, the music has to go inside me. I have to feel it here. You know what I mean? I don't feel it there. I feel it in me. You know what I mean? It's like it becomes part of me, and it just soothes me in a way that kind of other things don't. So is there a genre you'd be surprised at? I highly doubt it. I know what I don't like within a couple of seconds. It's like when I pick up a guitar or play for a pedal or an amp. I'll know within the first couple of seconds whether I like it or I don't like it. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to invest anything into it. And that's not me. I don't feel that's me being selfish. It's just the fact of I don't. I just know, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? I think that just kind of I think that's an important thing in general, really, to know what you like and what you don't like. So when when a situation arises that you need to say, you can say it. There's no harm done in if somebody says, "Oh, do you like this?" There's no harm done in you going, "No, I don't." You know what I mean? For the longest time, I was always afraid of telling people I didn't like things because, again, I have that kind of like thing in me of like, trying to that thing that I've had from school of like, trying to fit. But like, as soon as music came along and gave me a bit more of my own identity of who I wanted to be in the first place, I'm not afraid to say I don't like something. You know what I mean? Much to the annoyance of some people, I'm sure, but I don't see the point in being dishonest about anything. If somebody comes to you with a guitar or a pedal and say, "Oh, do you like this?" and you have to say no. If you don't, you know what I mean? I've got a really itchy nose all of a sudden. That's really annoying. Oh, that's very, very annoying. So I do apologise for me itching the outside of my nose. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, ever get that? Just random itches that just come on. It's not great 'cause it's on camera. Anyway. So, I think it's important to be honest all the time about what you like and what you don't like. And if you don't like something, say you don't like it. You know what I mean? Don't go along with it unwillingly just because you don't want to upset somebody. It's not possible to go through life without upsetting somebody at some point. It's, you're always going to annoy or upset somebody at some point in your life no matter what. So, if you can just remain true and honest, then the right people find you, and you don't have to worry about it. Then you can be totally honest, and you can just be like, "Well, I don't like it," and they can go, "No worries." Instead of going, "Oh my god, I can't believe you don't like it." I mean, what is wrong with you? Because I've had that before as well. I'm sure we've all been there with somebody, but it's we're all individual and we're all different, and we all like our own things, and we all like this and we all like that, and we don't like this and we don't like that, and that's okay. It's okay not to like something. I don't like everything that I hear. I don't like everything that I, play through and stuff like that. And that's why, I don't like doing negative reviews on YouTube. That's why, if I don't like something, you don't see it. You know what I mean? I just don't do it. I remember doing a video on the Marshall Code, and I was so hesitant to do it because I was like, I don't like the amp. I really don't like the amp. I tried one recently again, and I just don't like them. The Marshall Code just does not work for me at all. And I was really hesitant to do a video on it because I was like, but because I don't like it doesn't mean somebody else won't. You know what I mean? So I always get a bit kind of edgy about that kind of thing. But anyway, tangent. So yeah, are there any musical genres we'd be surprised you're into? I highly doubt it. I'm very transparent. I like what I like. You know what I mean? It's pretty obvious in my influences, where I am musically, and this, that, and the other. So yeah. So I doubt it highly. So going to move on. The other part of question 1 is what's the most important pedals in your opinion? So what's the most important pedals in your opinion to buy when building a pedal board? If going after a John Frusciante, Jimi Hendrix kind of sound. Well, if you're going after John and Jimmy, the most important pedals really are something that's going to give you that kind of dirty clean thing, because Jimmy again is another user of the dirty clean tone. I experienced the album is ridiculously clean in some places. Hey Joe's very clean, but as soon as Jimmy found his Marshalls, that cleanish guitar tone, that clean guitar tone was gone. It's down to that dirty clean Marshally tone that he has. To stick his fuzz pedal over the top of, but and the same with John, same with a lot of guys. To be honest with you, they all have that kind of broken up, cleanish kind of sound. That's awesome. So most important pedals for that thing, really, it's stuff like wah-wahs, distortions, fuzzes, delays, overdrives. For me, there would be an always-on pedal. I remember when I was doing the Jimi Hendrix tribute band. When I was doing the Jimi Hendrix tribute band, I had a different pedal board for a while. Not for very long, because I found it a bit kind of not limiting. I just wanted more. You know what I mean? So I could get to a few more textural things that Jimmy did in the studio live, because when I started doing the Jimi Hendrix tribute band, we were called the Voodoo Children. I had a pedal board that consisted of I had my Zoom pedal always. The Zoom was there mainly for stuff like, well, the tuner and and I like the compressor in the Zoom G2. Even though I don't use compression, the compression's on 0. I just like what it adds. There's just something it adds that no other compressor does, and I really like it. It's like a smoothing out kind of thing to it. It's like when you plaster a wall and it just goes really smooth. It's like that. It just adds something really, really cool. So I had the Zoom G2, and then I had a Marshall Bluesbreaker 2 pedal, the Bluesbreaker 2, and that was always on. That never got turned off. And then I had Vox Wah, Roto Vibe, and the Electro Harmonix double muff, and it was the big double muff at the time, not the nano, the full size one. And that was my pedal board for a while with the Jimi Hendrix tribute band. But again, I missed stuff like delay. And also, I just wanted to be really close to Jimmy's live setup, and of the late '60s, like where he would have his Univibe, fuzz, wah, and that's pretty much all he had. No reverb, no delay. But as we started doing songs like "Are You Experienced" and certain other songs, I wasn't able to get some of these kind of textural delay kind of sounds that Jimmy got in the studio, and it just didn't. It wasn't making me particularly happy, so I went back to my main pedal board with delays and basically everything I needed really. So, but I mean, yeah, for going for like a John Frusciante Jimmy board, you might be focusing on wah-wahs, delays, distortions, fuzzes, maybe an always-on pedal like an overdrive pedal, like say like the Jackhammer or the Bluesbreaker. I went for the Bluesbreaker over anything else though, because the Bluesbreaker gave me a bit more overdrive in that kind of Marshall-y, kind of cranked up way. The Bluesbreaker just seemed to really work. I don't know why, but it was really, really cool. Love that pedal. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, the most important pedals of those, I would say if you're going to narrow it down to like literally the limit of limits and limits, then you want to be going like, wahs and distortions or fuzz in Jimmy's case. So that's really the most important, because with John, the main pedals you hear John use more than anything are the DS2, so distortion, wah, the Ibanez, and then you've got chorus. And you can narrow it down to those 3. And then you can always have like an always-on pedal if you want to kind of simulate that broken up clean tone of John's. With Jimmy, it's fuzz and wah and overdrive, and that's it. You can narrow it down to those. The Univibe is something that you can kind of get around. It's a very important Jimmy sound, but it's not. If you're just kind of going after it from a straight standpoint, like this is what I want straight away, and not on a budget. Fuzz, wah, and like an overdrive is where you want to kind of go really, and then you can add things as you kind of progress from there. But yeah, so that's what I'd recommend. It's mainly fuzzies, overdrives, distortions, wahs, chorus, delay, stuff like that. But you can narrow it down to very simple, simple elements. John is chorus, distortion, wah. Jimmy is fuzz and wah, and that's pretty much it. So that I hope that makes some kind of sense. So the last part, question 1 is can I recommend an amp for about €500? Boss Katana. I sound like a broken record now, but honestly, Boss Katanas. For €500 you could probably get the Artist. For if you want, you could go for the standards, but Boss Katanas. And then you've got it all in your amp as well. If you get the K switch that it unfortunately should come with a Katana, but doesn't. You have to buy it separate. If you get the K switch where you can access all 4 channels, you don't really even need pedals. It's got it in it, and if you can then get access to the Tone Studio, you're away. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. The Katana is just ridiculous. I really do recommend it above anything. It's just silly, so cool. So anyway. So I hope that's the question. Going to move on to question 2 now. Question 2 is a question that I can't really answer, but I'm going to try. But people of the tube, I call upon you here for your help, and I know I can depend on you. So chime in on this question in the comment section below. So question 2 is, are virtual amp sims any good versus a real amp and pedals? Now, I personally have tried a couple of virtual amps, and I don't like them myself. I don't like the way they feel. They feel very sterile. I get it. They sound great, but they feel weird. You know what I mean? That's where I come from with that. It's like they sound really good, but they feel strange. So, are they any good? Yes, they are. You know, you can get great sounds out of these amp simulations and all that kind of thing. You can get amazing sounds out of them, to be honest with you. Hearing some of them, you're just like, but they just feel weird to me. The ones that I've tried, there's like a disconnect. It's bizarre. I can't place it exactly, but there's something that's not quite right. I don't know exactly what that is, but it just feels a bit weird. But I mean, I wouldn't trade in my amps and pedals for amp simulations on a computer. I just wouldn't. I like to have a physical presence of an amplifier and physical presence of pedals. I don't like not having that. I discovered that when I was messing around with this idea. Like, you know, I've tried a few with... I've never tried them here. People I know had them, and I was always a bit like, I don't like it. I want the physical presence of an amplifier and pedals at my feet, you know, which you can have with amp simulation kind of things. You know, you look at, you know, amp axe effects and stuff like that, Kempers and stuff like that. But even they have a physical presence. Like, just plugins and stuff like that, they feel a bit weird to me. I once recorded a song using nothing but virtual amps. I recorded a song using no real amplifiers. It was just plugins, basically. Well, it was virtual amplifiers, if you will. And although I think it sounded okay, it felt weird. And again, because I go by feel all the time. If something feels weird or wrong, then I tend to kind of like not be interested in it after that. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not bothered. You know, I give things a chance, don't get me wrong, but it's like, I know, again, coming back to that thing, so I know what I like and what I don't like, and I just didn't get on with it. It just felt a little too strange to me. So yeah, I can't really say, because again, it's different things for different people, really. I mean, you might absolutely love these. You know, and I know a lot of people who do love virtual amplifiers and virtual effects and all that kind of thing, and use their computer for this kind of thing. But for me, it doesn't really work. I like to have an amplifier near me to plug into. I'm saying with pedal boards, I like to be able to see them and manipulate them and all that kind of thing. But yeah, as for virtual effects, it just feels a bit weird for me. But I would recommend you try them, because you never know. You know what I mean? And if you haven't, you know, if you don't like them, you haven't really lost anything, so to say, if that makes any sense, you know, because you've learned something from it. It's like, I don't like it. You know what I mean? So if you can try before you buy, I mean, that's so important anyway. If you can go somewhere, or if you know somebody who's got these kind of things, you know, if you can try these things before you buy them, and that'll kind of tell you everything you need to know, really. You'll feel it. But for me, that I don't really like them. People of a tube. If any of you out there use virtual amp simulations, what's your opinion on them versus a real amplifier and pedals? Let us know in the comment section below, because I'll be very curious to read the comments and see what people have to say about this, because I can imagine it's kind of like there'll be a split between people who don't like it like me, and then there'll be people who absolutely love it. So, but let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, because I'm very, you know, I don't like it personally. I wouldn't be trading in my Katanas or my Marshalls or my Orange or any of my amps, really, for just digital modelling, so to say. It just feels a bit weird. Plus, I don't like computers, so I wouldn't trust them. But they know our weaknesses. Anyway, but yeah, so I don't particularly like them, but I would say try, because you never know. You never know. But like I say, it's different people like different things. You know what I mean? So I can't really comment. I can only speak from my perspective on that. Like I said, my perspective is like no, but I would say try them if you can before you buy them, just to see, because amp simulations are okay, but I don't like running guitars through that kind of thing. It feels weird. they sound incredible. I remember my friend Ian had a plugin of Jeff Beck's Ronnie Scott guitar tone, and it sounded exactly the same as Jeff Beck's Ronnie Scott Gigs guitar tone, and it was amazing. But when you'd play it, it didn't feel right to me. It sounded right, and it, you know, responded, but it felt wrong. So it's really hard to kind of like go yes or no. You know what I mean? It's all down to, you know, you have to experience it yourself to know, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I'm not really sure, but that's where I stand on it. So people of the tube, let us know in the comment section below what you think to this. Let's say chime in and let us know what your experience is, whether you liked it or you didn't like it, and yeah, and if you do like it, and if you do use these. Could you recommend any in the comment section below? Recommend a few if you can in the comment section below, because I can't, because I like I say, I'm not interested in it. So, people of the tube, the awesome humans that you are, let us know in the comment section below and recommend any if there is any you would recommend. Particularly, that was really bad English, but okay. So I hope that's a question. Going to move on to question 3 now. So question 3. Well, I wanted to kind of go into a bit more detail on this one because you already know what's happened to this. But the question 3 was, how's it going with the gold top? So, like you know by now, the gold top's gone to my friend Bob. So I no longer own it, and I didn't want it. It didn't bond like so many of you said when I did the video on asking for help for the gold top. Because I'd been through so much with it, as soon as like the dust had settled and I tried to bond with it, it just wasn't there. Like most of you knew it wouldn't be, and I did. I just didn't want to believe it. You know when you kind of like get to that kind of phase of like I don't want to believe this, but it's true. So yeah. So by now you know it's gone to my friend Bob. He loves it. It's become his like favorite guitar, which I'm so happy about. Because it's gone and it doesn't have a negative vibe to it anymore, which is just perfect. So I'm so happy about that. But coming back to kind of like, you know, what I was saying before about kind of like, you know, about the amp sim thing, like, you know, doing things to learn things. I learned something, you know, very important with the gold top. The gold top taught me a lot, much in the same way as the black Epiphone the Epiphony taught me. You know, there's a lot to learn from stuff like that, and the gold top taught me, like, you know, that I know, again, it just reinforced it in my brain that I know immediately whether I like something or don't like something. And I won't be ever showing the unboxing video of the gold top. I've deleted it, it's gone. So the unboxing video is totally gone. I still have the pictures of what it looked like when it came, but I think I'm just going to get rid of them as well, because I kind of just want done with it all, to be honest with you. I just want it gone. It's gone to Bob. The guitar is an amazing guitar, and he loves it, and that's all that matters. So, but it taught me kind of like, again, to trust my instinct on stuff like that. So when something comes and it feels wrong from the get-go, and my brain just goes, send it back, then that's what I should do. No matter how much I might want to fix it and make it good, in the future it will be a case of, no, send it back. It's taught me to really... I mean, I kind of go by instinct anyway. Again, it's feel, basically. But the gold top draw was so overwhelming because it's a gold top. I was kind of like, no, it's got to be amazing. I've got to fix it. I've got to make it good, and then I'll love it, and it'll be amazing. And it just never was for me. It was just never there for me, which is very upsetting. But like I said, I've learnt a very valuable lesson from it, which is when something's like that, send it back. Just get rid of it. You can't do anything with it. And that's it. So it taught me a very cool lesson, and a very valuable lesson at that. So, and I had to experience it to know it. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those things of like, you'll know. Like, you know, it's like saying, don't worry, Dave, you'll know it when you know it, kind of thing. So I mean, so I'm just glad where it's gone. You know, in all fairness, I'm just glad I could give back to somebody who's given me so much, and you know, I'm just very happy that he's got it, and it's become his favorite guitar, which is so cool. You know, I love that. I love knowing that. So yeah. So like you say, I just thought I'd bring this back up again because, like I say, it's an important thing to reiterate. I think of, like, you know when something's right and you know when something's wrong, You know, I think we all do as instinctual kind of things, but sometimes, unfortunately, stuff like the wow factor and our wants and our desires kind of get in the way of that and can kind of like, you know, skew the path, so to say, so we end up walking down the wrong line. So, so the goldtop is a very important lesson, much the same as the epiphony. And a couple of other things, there's a couple of things I've been taught that I should never get rid of certain things because it was stupid. And when you've got a bond with something, you shouldn't really be losing it. You know what I mean? But you'll know when there's a disconnect. You know. So yeah. So like I say, you know, if the goldtop's gone now and it won't be coming back, I have another goldtop though, and you'll see that very soon-ish. But if you follow me on social media, you've already seen it. But yeah, so that'll be a video on that very soonish. But yeah, in about a week or 2 weeks or so, something like that. But I'm liking this one. This one's bonding, and I like it. So we'll see where we go with it. I'm not saying it's going to be the one, if that makes any sense. But we will see. We'll see where we are in a couple of months and a year's time. If it's still in a year's time, then odds are it probably won't be going anywhere. So anyway, we'll see where we are. Anyway. So, moving on to final question of the day, everybody. Question 4! Question for today is, do you still class Revelation guitars as good value for money? Yes, always. You said you haven't seen me with Revelation for a while. It's like, I've got my RTL. The only Revelation I own now is my RTL 59, which is my favourite Les Paul that I've probably ever played, next to my old Gibson Goldtop, which I used to have, and my friend Nick's 52 Goldtop. I've been a lucky little git, as you all know, to play a lot of amazing Les Pauls. And through playing a lot of those, I found what I really wanted, and I found what I really wanted to feel like, sound like, play like, and the RTL 59 is that perfectly. So, and I adore it. I absolutely adore it, and I love the fact that I've stripped the top off it even more because, like I said, I didn't like the cherry burst. I like tomato soup. I mean, I would do it to the Epiphone behind me if I didn't but that's my second ever guitar, so that's not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, do I class Revelation guitars as good value for money? Absolutely. I think they are fantastic guitars in every way, shape, and form. I have yet to play a Revelation I haven't loved. I remember they sent me a weird one, bizarre looking thing, with crazy cutouts, 24 frets, bizarre looking, kind of strange looking guitar, and I was like, I'm not gonna like this, and I loved it. Like I said, I am yet to play a Revelation guitar that I've gone, don't like it. Because you always give things a chance. But like I said earlier on, you know when something's not right for you. You know instinctively, you feel when something's wrong. I've never had that with a Revelation guitar, which is wicked. And I love that. It's making me smile. So yeah, I mean, literally, the only one I wasn't overly keen on, and it was just simply because of the colour, was the RTL... blues line. It was green. I forget exactly what it was, but it was green. But my God, did it sound and play good. But I just didn't like the colour. But again, that's just an aesthetical thing. That's just me not liking the green, the look of the guitar. But my God, it was an amazing guitar. And would I be able to get over the green? Definitely, because the sound was like, it's worth it. You know what I mean? For how much I didn't like the colour, the sound of it and the way it felt and sang and played was enough. You know what I mean? It just was incredible. But other than that, I mean, like I say, and I am being totally honest with you, people of the tube, but I have not played a Revelation I have not liked. There is one I wish I could have kept, and I should have bought it, and I was stupid, and it was the Daphne Blue Strat copy, the double cut copy, which I demoed, I think it was, I don't remember when it was, 2 years ago, I don't remember. But it was Daphne Blue, maple neck, kind of 50s spec Strat kind of thing. I should have bought that. I should have bought that guitar. I toyed with the idea, I yo-yoed it, and I was like, should I, shouldn't I? And I was like, buy it, you can't lose it. And I lost it. and I was stupid, and I should have bought that. Another one I should have kept and should still have was my Revelation fin line, the Jaguar looking one with the F hole. I sold that because I'm stupid, and when it actually came back up for sale, and I couldn't afford it at the time, and I was like, I've got to be able to afford it. And by the time I got the money, it had been sold to somebody else. And it was on eBay a while back that somebody pointed it out that it was on eBay, and now it's just gone. I don't know where it's gone now. It's just gone forever. So that is another guitar I should not have sold. It was very silly. Very, very silly. So I should have the Daphne Blue Strat, and I should have my Finline Red, the Fiesta Red Revelation. It was very silly of me to get rid of those. I was a bit of an idiot. I might actually have to contact Revelation and try and get another one of those fin lines, because the Finline Jag with those two humbuckers, my crikey or blimey, was that an amazing guitar. But then my fear arises that the one that arrives won't be as good as the one I sold, if that makes any sense, you know. But I don't know. I mean, Revelation are very consistent, so I can pretty much believe that it's amazing. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. People with tube, what do I do? Tell me what to do. I don't know. But yeah, I should still have those. I should have those two guitars, definitely. The other one I wish I had kept as well was, it was a Tobacco Burst. It was like a PV Wolfgang. It was like the Eddie Van Halen Wolfgang guitar. I demoed it a while back, a long time ago now, actually. And it was like a small body, but it was Tobacco Burst with a flame kind of maple kind of cap to it. And that guitar, I should have kept that one as well. That was insanely good. That was such a good guitar. Oh, all these guitars, it's just like, oh, Jesus. You know, why didn't I keep it? You know, silly boy. But, you know, hindsight is a very horrible thing. Knowing what you should have done and knowing you didn't do it is very silly. And I think that's the lesson to be learnt, really, in certain things is, you know, if you do something, how would you word that, Dave? It's better to do something like, you know, tell somebody you love them than not. That's the only thing I can kind of relate to. And then guitars, it's the same thing. It's like, if you've got a bond with it, it's better to buy it and love it for a while and then fall out of love with it than to never buy it, if that makes any sense, you know. And it's always, you know, and if you feel a certain way for somebody, it's always better to tell them you love them and than not, because then you have that kind of regret of then they don't know, you know. And I think it's important they know, for better for worse, really. So for what that's worth. But yeah, so yeah, coming back to a question, because I'm going to get all deep and I'm going to upset myself if I'm not careful, so we won't go there. But yeah, do I still class Revelation guitars a good value for money? Yes, definitely. I love Revelation guitars. I really do love them. I think they're fantastic, and I'd recommend them any day of the week. You know, I really would. They're so good. And I think I'm going to have to contact them about a Fiesta Red fin line. So anyway, you also asked, what are the strong and weak points? Well, strong points they're just amazing. I mean, they're built well, they play well, they sound great, the electrics are great, everything's neat and tidy, nothing's overdone, you know what I mean? Everything's done to a T, you know what I mean? Weak points are... The only thing I can think of a weak point is I don't think the necks are for everyone. The necks feel a certain way. I mean, I personally adore the necks on the Revelation. The RTL 59, its neck, to me, is the perfect Les Paul neck. If somebody came to me and said, I want to build you a Les Paul, what do you want? I would say, well, blah, but I want the neck to be like this, you know what I mean? I'm pointing over there because it's sat over there in the guitar rack. But that is my perfect Les Paul neck. Like, I say my first Les Paul was the Epiphone. That's a really skinny neck, and then for the longest time I played the vintage Lemon Drop, and that neck's really nice. But I could play it really well. But as soon as the RTL 59 came along, I was like, that's perfect. It's absolutely perfect because it really is. It just feels so good. Everything about that guitar is so perfect. It really is, and the sound of it as well. Those end whistle pickups in that. Best humbuckers in the world. I adore them. Ah, they really are just stunning. I adore them so much. Anyway, but weak points of Revelation, like I say, are the necks. I don't think the necks would be for everybody. I think some people might find the necks to be a bit not for them. You know what I mean? I would say that's a point. There's quite a few aesthetic things I could think of. One sec. Like, for instance, I know for a fact that quite a lot of people have pointed out on the RTL 59 here, they don't like the point here because they'd much prefer it to be like, say, like the actual Gibson kind of rounded off bit on the lower horn, so it's not like a point like that. Personally, I don't mind that. I in all fairness, I kind of love it. Because it's different, you know what I mean? You can tell it's, you know, it's trying to be different, which I like. A bit dusty. But this guitar is just so good. It would take a very, 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 very special Les Paul guitar to knock this off my number one. Because, like I said, I do have a gold top now. It's not... it's a Les Paul shape, but you'll like I say, if you've seen on... Let me just show you, it'd be easier. So, I finally have another one of these. So, these Gretsch Electromatic gold tops, I think these things are fantastic. And I got this one a couple of weeks ago now. And I do love it immensely. Is it as good as this? No, it's not. This is still my number one in the terms of single cuts. But this thing is a different animal altogether to that. And I love it because it's different. And also it's a gold top with a dark back. So how could I not love it? But the pickups in this, the mini humbuckers, they're a different breed, a different sound altogether. And these Electromatics are fantastic. I never should have sold my other one, to be honest with you. The only reason I sold my other gold top was because of the Bigsby. I couldn't keep it in tune. But all I should have done there is take the Bigsby off. He's a clever boy, you know, sometimes. But it doesn't matter because I've got this one now with the tailpiece, which I think looks so gorgeous. And I like it because it reminds me of this Gretsch we had in an old hat. It's amazing. And I just love the gold top. I love gold top so much. Anyway, but it's like you'll see this more in a video. I'll do a video on this one soon, and you'll see more of that, and you'll hear it. And like I say, it'd take a very special guitar, and you know, as much as I love this Gretsch and the lemon drop and the Epiphony and stuff like that, it would take a lot to knock this off my top spot for Les Pauls, because I really have. It's just perfect. You know, these humbuckers are perfect. You know, everything feels like... I love the fact that the dials are slanted this way instead of that way, because I can actually get to the volume pot to do kind of like volume swells. It stays in tune. I love the neck. I say the neck is fantastic on it. It's just perfect. It's not too heavy either, and I love the way it looks with the strip top now, because it's just so... mine, if you know what I mean. It's like, you know, that like I know it inside and out, and it's like I just, because I would be absolutely, if this got stolen or I lost this, I'd be absolutely heartbroken. And I remember when Revelation gave me this and I stripped the top off, they said we could have given you one in a colour you wanted, because they have a Honeyburst one, which I bought. I bought one for my friend Nicole. She owns it now. I bought it for her because she wanted like a Les Paul, and I recommended one of these. And I just thought I'll buy her one, so I bought her one. And it was, I did a little song for her on it, and it was more of a colour. If it'd come in that colour, I would have probably kept the top the way it was. But because this was like tomato soup, I changed it. And Revelation did say we could have given you one more of a colour you wanted, and they said we can still send you one if you send this one back before I stripped it. And I was like, no. Because that one you send might not connect like this one connects, so I want this one, you know, and that, I think that's the key to it really. It's like, you know when something's right and you know when something's wrong, and this is just my go-to, it really is. And I just love the way the top looks with the 3-piece top, and you've got this really awesome kind of like knot in the wood on the lower horn right there. Looks so cool, and I just love it, and it reminds me of Paul Kossoff, and that's never a bad thing. And it's just, yeah, it's just one of the best Les Paul guitars I've ever played. Sound, feel-wise, and everything else about it. I just love it to bits. It feels right. Everything about this guitar feels right, and I just adore it to pieces. I adore this as well, and I adore the Lemon Drop and the Epiphony, but that's top dog. It really is. But strong weak points, like I say, the necks though. I think that's definitely that'd be kind of like the issue I would have, because certain necks in Revelation line, I think some people might have a hard time with, but there might be something else somewhere along the line. But no, I will rant and rave about Revelation, how amazing they are forever. Because they're so good. They are so good. And like I said, I have yet to try one that I've gone, don't like it. You know what I mean? Even the weird ones which they've sent me to review, I'm like, I'm not going to like this. And you start playing, you're like, I love this. Like the Marrakesh. I wish I had the Marrakesh still. I love that guitar so much. It was so cool. And other guitars as well, like, like the Weirdo. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a weird looking creature, and it was so good. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I might have to get the thin line again, the Fiesta Red thin line, because that was such a great guitar. I don't know. What do you think, people of the tube? I don't know, but like I said, that's literally the only weak point I could think of is the necks might not be to everybody's taste. I'm struggling to. I'm kind of biding myself time. Because I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can think of that might be classed as a weak point, because I don't see many weak points in these things. Nope, that is literally all I can think of. Nope, I can't think of anything else. So yeah, but like I say, after all, Les Paul on a budget. So anyway, I just wish they did a gold top. I have toyed with the idea of turning this into a gold top, but I'm like, the top looks too cool in the way it is, and it all, from a distance it looks gold anyway. So I thought, leave it, Dave. It's fine, and I like it the way it is. It's rough and it's very ready, but I love that so much about it. It's got its own character to it, and it's mine, and I like that. So anyway, So yeah, so I can't think of many other weak points really, because, like I say, all the Revelations that come to me straight out of the box have been awesome. I haven't played one that was like, meh, it's not great. You know what I mean? They've all been wicked, so I can't really point fingers. I'll stop looking at it. I'm just looking at it and getting completely like drawn into it instead of like thinking about the questions. Okay, so yeah, but like, do I still class Revelation guitars as good value? Yes, any day of the week, they're amazing. If you go for it, you go for it. They're so good guitars. They really are amazing. Great budget, guitars with ridiculously high quality and sound. They're just so good. They're so good. Like I say, there's a few, in all fairness, there's quite a lot of Revelation guitars I would have if money wasn't an issue, to be honest with you, and space wasn't an issue. But the one I want back the most definitely is the thin line. Anyway, so I hope it's your question. So that's it, everybody, for this Q&A Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. I hope I've answered your questions okay. I hope it's been something in there that's informative and helpful. And I'll see you again on Friday for another vid. Don't know what it's going to be yet. Undecided, but we'll get there when we get there. So I have so much to show you. In the coming weeks. Well, yeah, coming weeks to show you that that I've got recently bought and stuff like that. Like, there's the Gretsch, there's a couple of different amps and stuff like that, and a couple of things to do. So I've got so much to show you and have fun with. So yeah, I'll see you on Friday, everybody. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening until then, and see you again. Have a great one. Goodbye now. Haha. Oh, quickly. If you want to submit a question for A&Q Wednesday, description box below has an email link. Email me there, and I will get to your question when I get to it. I go through them sequentially, so I don't pick and choose. I just go through them. The only reason I won't answer your question is if I've already answered it. That's everything I need to say. So, thank you very much, everybody. Have a great one. Goodbye now.